$8.7 billion. That's how much Disney makes just in their Disney Parks division and just in a 90-day period. Imagine making $8.7 billion in revenue in a 90-day period. Whenever you see performance like this, you have to take a step back and think, what are they doing that I can learn from? These guys are physical product sales masters in the park, and a significant chunk of that 8.7 billion in quarterly revenue is coming from physical products. So I recently toured a Disney park, and I wanted to give you 4 really weird, counterintuitive things that they're doing inside the parks that you can apply into your Amazon business digitally. So I saw the physical version. Now let's just translate this into the digital Amazon equivalent. So the first thing that they did, which was brilliant, was they upsold when emotions were at their peak. So there's this Tron ride, for example. You remember Tron, this neon motorcycle thing. I never saw the movies, but there's a Tron ride that they built pretty recently, and it goes real fast, over 50 miles an hour on this motorbike, in a cart. It's on rails, but it goes super fast. And you gets the blood pumping. Maybe your friend's next to you. You're having a good time. You're whizzing around at top speed. There's neon lights everywhere. So the adrenaline's going to get going, right? And you're excited. And you remember maybe how much you liked the Tron franchise as a kid. Your brain switches to 100% Tron focused. It's Tron centric, if you will. And then you finish the ride. And where does Disney deliberately send you? They could just as easily, as in a lot of carnivals, send you back out into the park and have you enjoy the rest of your night. But no, they don't. They send you to a gift shop immediately after. Non-negotiable, the ride routes directly to a gift shop, structurally speaking. And not just any gift shop either. It's a Tron-specific themed gift shop with just Tron helmets, Tron jackets, Tron mugs, Tron Christmas ornaments, whatever you can think of, they've Tronified it, and it just goes directly after the ride. The best time to buy is when emotions are highest and when emotional involvement is highest. They're not going to try to send you an email selling you Tron stuff 24 or 48 hours from now, let alone a week from now. It's not going to work. You're most interested in Tron right now, right after the ride. So their best chances of getting that conversion, and they know this, is directly after the ride. So on Amazon, shoppers are most emotionally charged and excited right when they've made the order. That's when they were thinking about the product, the pain point that it's going to be solving. And so that's a great time to send a buyer-seller message and just engage them with additional Amazon products that could really enhance that experience further for them. Take that next logical step. And you don't want to do this too much later. A great mentor and a sales trainer of mine said, lack of speed kills deals. You just don't want the time to elapse. Those emotions are transient, they're fleeting, and so that enthusiasm is going to wane, so you want to upsell directly in that window. The second thing that I noticed with the Disney parks is to always give customers the next logical step, and only one logical step at a time. Right? A lot of Amazon sellers, after they get the sale, they may say, hey, thank you, here's a bit about the brand, follow us on social media, leave a review of the product once you get it, let us know if there's anything wrong. So you're asking for like 4 or 5 things, right? Follow us on Amazon, 6 things, and that's too much. There's a saying that the confused mind says no. Just give them one thing. At the Disney park, I took the car. There was someone in the parking lot ushering me in. They said, hey, okay, pull the car up to here. Okay, stop. Watch out. There's a car behind you. Okay, get out. Get on this trolley car. Take the ride. Ride this train. Scan your pass here. Get into the park. And then once you're in, the parks are structured in a way where there's really, it meanders a little bit, but there's one primary path that you can take around. There aren't all these twists and turns and ambiguity, right? So perhaps on Amazon, the one next step is, simply, hey, let us know if there's anything we can do to help. And then upon arrival, hey, what did you think? Leave a review. That's the next step. It's there, so it's a sequential order of things versus multiple asks all at the same time. The third thing, and this was fascinating to see, and we've seen this in other businesses that we've talked about on the channel, but Disney is constantly building these product ecosystems as sort of subsets of their product selection. I'll give you an example. Nuimo, it's Nuimo. Look it up. This is new. It was new in my books. I hadn't seen these things before. But a Nuimo is simply a Disney plush of a plush character, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy, stuff like that. So they could have just stopped and sold you those plushes, but no. Absolutely not, because these guys are upsell and expansion masters, right? They know they can get you on the plush because that's, you have some emotional investment in the character perhaps, but then all the Nuimos have clothing that you can buy. It's like little small clothing items to put on. You could dress up Mickey Mouse in ski gear or, a Hawaiian shirt or whatever it might be. In addition, they have these, folks around the park with sort of mounting accessories where you can put your character on your shoulder. I saw a lot of Groots from Guardians of the Galaxy, a lot of Groot shoulder attachments, a lot of Baby Yoda shoulder attachments. So they had to deliberately invent all this stuff, but they have one base product and then a bunch of accessories that they can get you on, and that will expand the cart value. It's hardest just to get the initial sale, but once you have the initial sale, there's probably a bunch of other stuff that you can sell that same person. And if you go deep on the cart values, extremely profitable, right? The clothes for the plush dolls aren't that much less expensive than the doll itself. And the margins on those, you got to think, are pretty darn good. They're about as expensive as some regular clothes you could find, human-sized ones, but they are small. They are really tiny. So that was great. That was great to see. Moleskine notebooks is another example that we've talked about on the channel before. They have this base product, which is the notebook, but then they're going to sell you pens that work especially well in the notebook. And if you have pens for the notebook, you're obviously going to need a leather pen carrier, and you're going to need a portfolio to store all this stuff in. And what about your ink refills? Are you crazy? Are you a crazy person? Are you not going to want to refill the pen that you've invested in? Moleskine's a great example. Apple, another one, especially with the advent of MagSafe, and you have the, they sell you the base product, which is the phone, and then they'll get you on AirPods, maybe the large AirPods if they're lucky, cases, wallets, chargers, Apple Care, and insurance product, things of this sort. So, it's not, I think a lot of sellers, Amazon sellers, I would say over 90%, will stop at the base product and not offer any upsells. This is a missed opportunity because it's hardest to get that initial sale. The expansion is easier. It's much easier, and you're selling to an existing customer. They already know you, they already trust you, maybe they've already had a good experience with the base product. So that's a wasted opportunity if I've ever seen one. But Disney does not waste a single opportunity of this sort. And the last thing is sort of related to our third point, but my fourth point is that they are constantly upselling sort of luxury offerings to super fans. They understand the demographics here. A certain percentage, actually a lot of people like Disney, and a lot of people who go to the parks like Disney, but they know that a certain subset of people love Disney, absolutely love it, and live by it. They come to the parks dressed head to toe in merch that they've already purchased, and they're looking for more. Do you want to take pictures and download them to your phone, digital ones? They will allow you to pay for that. Do you want to dine in an exclusive restaurant location that most people don't get access to? They will sell you that. Do you want to access rides faster? They'll sell you that. Do you want to own a $250,000 crystal replica of Cinderella's castle? They've got that for you as well. So, this accomplishes basically two things. One is the obvious monetary benefit of upselling and expanding super fans, because there is a long tail of super fans, but they will spend a ton more cash than your average consumer. And so they're just by allowing those options to be available, they increase revenue just by doing that. But the second thing is that it price anchors everything else. So if you're, say you're in the massive majority by number of people who just kind of like Disney and you're just sort of there to enjoy yourself, stuff. And I'm certainly in that category. If you see a $250,000 crystal castle, is a $40 t-shirt going to look as bad? No, right? Than if you had just presented the $40 t-shirt alone, or a $25 or $30 set of really small t-shirts for a plush doll. You're going to be like, I'll sell the $250,000 castle. It's not a $40 shirt is not as egregious as I once thought, because some people are out there buying the $250K castle. I wrote you a book with everything that you need to scale up on Amazon profitably. That's the key word there. It took me months to write, and I will drop it as a comment below this video. Just click on that link. It'll give you a free download of the book. It's months and months of work, but it's totally free, because I believe that if you're watching this, especially if you're watching this late in the video at the end, you deserve to get as rich as possible on Amazon. So that is my gift to you. I'll see you on the other side. See you later.